Groote Schuur Hospital, nestled in the heart of Cape Town, South Africa, was renowned for its state-of-the-art facilities and world-class medical care. But beneath its bustling exterior lay a chilling secret, one that had whispered through the halls for decades. Patients and staff alike spoke in hushed tones about the ghostly presence that haunted the hospital, a spectral figure known only as the ghostly surgeon. Dr. Emma Harris, a dedicated and ambitious young surgeon, had recently joined the hospital's surgical team. She was eager to make a name for herself and prove her skills, but she couldn't ignore the unsettling stories that circulated among her colleagues. They spoke of a phantom surgeon, a spirit that roamed the operating theaters at night, performing ghostly surgeries and leaving a trail of eerie whispers in its wake. Emma was determined to uncover the truth behind the legend. Late one night, after her shift had ended, she decided to explore the hospital's oldest wing, where the ghostly presence was said to be strongest. As she walked through the dimly lit corridors, the air grew colder, and the shadows seemed to dance along the walls. Her footsteps echoed softly in the empty halls, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. She paused outside an old, unused operating theater, its door slightly ajar. Taking a deep breath, she pushed the door open and stepped inside. The room was dark, the only light coming from the faint glow of the moon through the window. The air was thick with the scent of antiseptic, and the cold seemed to seep into her bones. As she stood there, she heard a faint whisper, barely audible but unmistakable. "Help me." Emma's heart pounded in her chest. She knew she had to find out more. She quickly left the room and made her way back to the staff lounge, her mind racing with questions. She decided to dig deeper into the hospital's history, hoping to uncover the identity of the ghostly surgeon and the reason for its haunting presence. The next day, Emma visited the hospital's archives, determined to learn more about the mysterious figure that haunted Groote Schuur. She pored over old records, newspaper clippings, and historical documents, searching for any clues that might shed light on the ghostly surgeon's identity. It wasn't long before she stumbled upon a name that seemed to be at the center of the mystery: Dr. Jonathan Sinclair. According to the records, Dr. Sinclair had been a brilliant and pioneering surgeon who had worked at the hospital in the early 1900s. He was known for his groundbreaking work in the field of surgery and his dedication to his patients. But there was also a darker side to his story. Dr. Sinclair had become obsessed with pushing the boundaries of medical science, often conducting risky and controversial procedures. His determination to achieve medical breakthroughs had led to several tragic accidents, resulting in the deaths of multiple patients. The hospital administration had eventually suspended him, and shortly thereafter, he had disappeared without a trace. Emma's heart ached for the troubled surgeon. She felt a deep sense of empathy for Dr. Sinclair and his relentless pursuit of knowledge. But she also knew that his ghostly presence was a reminder of the suffering and loss that had occurred under his care. Determined to help Dr. Sinclair find peace, Emma decided to visit the old operating theater once more. She hoped that by confronting the ghostly surgeon, she could uncover the truth and put an end to the haunting. Late that night, Emma made her way to the old operating theater. The hospital was quiet, the only sound being the soft hum of the fluorescent lights. As she approached the door, she felt a chill run down her spine. She pushed the door open and stepped inside, her heart pounding with anticipation. The room was dark and cold, just as it had been the previous night. Emma stood in the center of the room, her flashlight casting eerie shadows on the walls. She took a deep breath and called out softly, "Dr. Sinclair? Can you hear me? I'm here to help." For a moment, there was only silence. Then, slowly, the temperature in the room began to drop, and the faint whisper returned. "Help me. Find peace." Emma's heart raced with a mix of fear and determination. "I'm here to help you, Dr. Sinclair. Please, tell me what happened to you." The whisper grew louder, filled with sorrow and regret. "I failed. My patients, my work, led to their deaths." Emma felt a lump form in her throat. "It wasn't your fault, Dr. Sinclair. You were trying to push the boundaries of medical science. Your intentions were noble, even if the outcomes were tragic." The air grew colder, and the ghostly figure of Dr. Sinclair began to materialize before her. He was dressed in an old-fashioned surgical gown, his face etched with sadness and remorse. "I must atone for my mistakes. Find peace." Emma took a step closer, her voice filled with compassion. "You can find peace, Dr. Sinclair. But you need to let go of the guilt and forgive yourself. Your work has paved the way for countless advancements in surgery. Your legacy lives on." The ghostly figure seemed to waver, as if struggling to accept her words. "Forgive myself." "Yes," Emma said gently. "You can find redemption. Let go of the past and move on. We can help you find peace. Determined to help Dr. Sinclair's spirit find peace, Emma enlisted the help of her colleagues, James and Sarah, who had always been supportive of her work. Together, they researched ways to perform a ritual that could release the ghostly surgeon from his torment. They gathered the necessary materials, an old photograph of Dr. Sinclair, a surgical instrument from his era, and a white candle. They also found an old journal entry written by Dr. Sinclair himself, in which he expressed his remorse and desire for redemption. That night, they returned to the old operating theater, ready to perform the ritual. They set up a circle of candles around the room and placed the photograph, the surgical instrument, and the journal entry in the center. Emma lit the white candle and held it aloft, her heart filled with determination. "Dr. Sinclair," she called out softly, "we are here to help you find peace. We offer these tokens as a symbol of your dedication to your work and your desire for redemption. Please, accept our offering and find peace." The air grew colder, and the ghostly figure of Dr. Sinclair began to materialize once more. His eyes were filled with sorrow and longing as he gazed at the tokens before him. "I must atone for my mistakes." Emma's voice was steady and compassionate. "You have already atoned, Dr. Sinclair. Your work has saved countless lives. It's time to let go of the guilt and forgive yourself." As she spoke, the white candle burned brighter, casting a warm, golden light over the room. The air seemed to shimmer, and the ghostly figure of Dr. Sinclair began to fade. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice filled with gratitude. "I can feel peace. Finally." With a final, ethereal sigh, the ghostly surgeon vanished, and the temperature in the room returned to normal. The candles continued to burn steadily, their flames a symbol of the peace that had finally been found. With Dr. Sinclair's spirit at rest, the atmosphere at Groote Schuur Hospital transformed. The oppressive energy that had once filled the old operating theater was replaced by a sense of warmth and light. The whispers and shadows were gone, and the air was filled with a sense of peace. The hospital staff and patients noticed the change immediately. The eerie presence that had haunted the halls was no more, and the hospital seemed to come alive with a renewed sense of hope and healing. Emma, James, and Sarah were hailed as heroes, their bravery and determination celebrated by their colleagues in the hospital administration. They knew that their work had made a difference, not just for Dr. Sinclair, but for everyone who walked through the hospital's doors. As they prepared to leave the old operating theater, Emma felt a sense of fulfillment and gratitude. She had uncovered the truth about the ghostly surgeon and helped bring peace to a tormented spirit. But she knew that her journey was far from over. There were still many mysteries to be uncovered and many more stories to be told. "Thank you for everything," she said to James and Sarah as they stood outside the operating theater. "I couldn't have done it without you." James nodded, his expression filled with pride. "We make a great team, Emma. And there's still so much more to discover." Sarah grinned. "Here's to our next adventure. Who knows what mysteries await us?" With a sense of anticipation and excitement, the trio set out on their next journey, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The legend of the ghostly surgeon of Groote Schuur Hospital would live on, inspiring future generations to seek out the truth and embrace the power of compassion and understanding. And so, the curse of the ghostly surgeon was lifted, and Groote Schuur Hospital thrived as a place of healing and hope. The spirit of Dr. Sinclair was finally free, his legacy a lasting testament to the power of redemption and the enduring quest for knowledge. The mysteries of the past had been uncovered, and the future was filled with endless possibilities. Thank you for joining me on this thrilling and emotional journey through the story of the ghostly surgeon of Groote Schuur Hospital. I hope you enjoyed the tale and felt the suspense and drama unfold as we uncovered the mystery together. Stay tuned for more captivating stories, intriguing mysteries, and thrilling adventures. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Let's continue exploring the unknown and embracing the power of truth and compassion. Here's to more adventures and uncovering the secrets that lie hidden in the shadows. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and your heart open to the stories that shape our world.